Hello, good day, class. So right now, this is the continuation of our housekeeping operations discussion. We are already in element 3.1, which is the update knowledge, on other housekeeping duties. Okay. Housekeeping, once again, we're going to remind ourselves, hospitality or housekeeping must be clean and tidy. And we all know whenever we say clean, whenever we say tidy, we must be able to do that by following the job description once again. It must look clean, smell clean, and feel clean. So, whenever we're cleaning, we can never go wrong whenever we are going to follow these three important points, which is we must be able to check wherever we're cleaning, if that is in a public area, if that is in a guest room, we must be able to clean it based on these three important points. It should smell clean. How are we going to do that? By applying some air fresheners. It should feel clean. So that is why it's very important to do some dusting, even at the very top of the surface. Okay, the furnitures must be free of any dust. Okay, and of course, you must be able to keep that clean look by observing the proper arrangements of the proper arrangement of the furnitures, proper arrangements of the pillows, and anything that is inside that guest room, or even anything that's inside a function room. Okay, other facilities and areas. So once again, we'll be talking about public areas. Public areas, an area where it is ready available to customers. It is different to a private area which is exclusive to guests. Examples are the lobby, bars, and swimming pools, and any other open areas are the public areas. Right now, we know this by our hearts right now. Facilities, aspects of products and services with the public areas. So what are these facilities? Could be a furniture such as chairs, could be a tables, fixtures. Fixtures are basically pertaining to the lights, to the doorknobs, okay? Could be a faucet. So these are the things that we should keep on in a regular basis. Next, under facilities, we have the fittings such as taps and pipes. Okay, next, equipment used by the guests or staff within the public area. Equipment used by staff, okay, at the buffet area and etc. Equipment used by customers like games, sports, and goods. Okay, those are the different facilities. Now, we will be moving on the manual cleaning equipment. Remember, I asked you to provide your own cleaning materials for us to be ready in our final cleaning. I will give you the experience of cleaning, or being able to experience the proper way of cleaning. So what are these? So basically, we all know, we see this everywhere we go, in a fast food chain, or even in our houses, the mops. Okay, we all know how to use the mops. We use this in one way. You don't do it forward, instead you do it backwards, so you will not spoil the first part of your mopping. Next, brooms and brushes. Types of brooms, we have the soft broom and the hard brooms. Next, sponges. Sponges are being used to remove any stains. It's either that can be used in the carpets, that can be used in cleaning the toilet, if that is sponge for the toilet. Okay, there's different uses. Next, we have the buckets. Buckets could be used to put on the detergents or any cleaning materials. Garbage receptacles. This is where we put any waste, and we all know that it's very straightforward. Next, we have the gloves. Warning signs, that's very important. Once again, whenever we are mopping the floor, we put on the wet sign. Whenever we're vacuuming the floor, we put on the trailing wire signs. Next in line, we have the personal protective equipment, or what we call PPEs. So this is very important whenever we are mixing the chemicals. Remember, it is part of your job description to be knowledgeable when it comes to chemical. What type of chemical are you mixing? How many percent of water are you going to mix it, or the proper of diluting? That's very important. Dust pan. Okay, next. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to electrical powered equipment. So we all know this is something that we have seen before. We have the vacuum cleaners. Next, we have the carpet shampoo machines. Next is the polishers. The one that we have in school is the old school type, the heavy polisher. Next, we have the scrubbing machines. So basically, the purpose of this is to clean the floors and make it nice and shiny. We have the floor machines. Okay, so but before we move on to the next one, I would like to remind you, whenever you're operating the equipments, you must be able to check the instructions manual. You must be able to check on how to operate the vacuum cleaners, how are you going to operate the carpet shampoo machines, how are you going to operate the polishers, scrubbing machines, and the floor machines. So that is very important. And once again, I think I have already told you, whenever you are plugging, you're gonna have to make sure that the equipment is based on the country's voltage. Like here in the Philippines, we are using 220 voltage, but in United States, they're using 110 voltage. So any equipments coming from United States that is going to be used here in the Philippines will basically need a adapter or a transformer for you to be able to use it. Okay, next we have the equipment the complementary items. What are these complementary items? So these are the toothpaste, these are the shaving creams, these are the shampoo, conditioner, lotion, and any other stuff. But one thing that you need to know is that whenever you're refilling, once again, whenever you're refilling these supplies, the guest supplies, you need to make sure that everything is full. There's no way you're going to leave. There's no way you're going to replenish the guest items half full or still 3/4 full. So it has to be all the way up. Everything has to be new stock. Okay, towels. So this is part of the complementary items. Make sure that you have a good supply of it. And replacement of batteries. Remember, I keep on telling you, wherever you're cleaning the room, it is part of your job description is to check the televisions if they are working, the remote controls if they're working, and if they are not, it is your responsibility to replace the batteries. Okay, now preparing work in public area. So basically, this is something that we have discussed. We're just going to have a quick run through it. How are we going to work or to clean the public areas? First, we need to minimize. This is one of our important thing to remember, to minimize the customer inconvenience. We all know the vacuum will produce some noise. So whenever you see a do not disturb sign at the corridor of the room where you're performing your vacuuming duty, you're not supposed to continue. Okay, so leave that particular room and then you come back whenever the guest has already left the room. Next, Cleaning duties can disrupt customers. We all know it can disrupt the customer if you push through the cleaning while they are sleeping. So never ever, under any circumstances, continue cleaning whenever you see a do not disturb sign. Okay, so same thing, cleaning duties can disrupt the working areas. So next bullet, if certain areas cannot be cleaned the moment, clean the different place. So that's the one that I've told you earlier. If you cannot clean that particular place, you go to the other area and come back for that place whenever it is ready. Minimize disruption. So how are you going to minimize it? Observing, being quiet, keep the trolleys away from busy places. So whenever we're cleaning and some of the staff got excited, they're talking about their time off. So unknowingly they're talking in loud voices. So that is something that you have to avoid, okay, because that can contribute for the disruption of guests. Next, hazards. Now in cleaning, we are basically dealing with different types of hazards. So what are these hazards? These are the fumes. It could be a hot utensils, could be a broken furnitures. So whenever we encounter these things, we're gonna have to make sure that we're always going to observe the proper cleaning measure. So if you see a broken furniture or even a broken glass on the floor, we must be able to secure the place with some caution strip. Caution strip is that can be placed from one end of the area to another, okay, for you to be able to secure the place. In that way, nobody's going to get injured. So barricade the area, that's how you do it. Barricade the area or the place signs, warning signs, okay? And even whenever the warning signs are not available and you're trying to you are leaving the place, okay, let's say the floor is wet and you cannot leave the place right away. From, let's say you're in a lobby area and the guest accidentally spilled the water on the floor. So what are you going to do is to ask somebody else to ask or to get the warning sign where you are standing in front of the wet floor. Okay, in that way, while you are still waiting for the wet floor sign, you are already saving the guest from being stripped. So that is very important. You need to be very cautious in dealing with that in that wet floors. Okay, we all know what the wet signs are. We have the wet signs, we have the trailing wire signs. Okay. Next, element 3.2, cleaning public areas. In cleaning public areas, even if we already have the basic idea of it, I am going to give you the very short version of what we have in the module. So first, make sure the lights are working wherever you are. If you're in the front office department, have a quick look on top, have a quick look on the bulbs if they are working. You can also use the switches. You turn it on and you turn off, okay, if they are working properly. Next, cleaning and sterilizing agents ready and used. Okay, so whenever we're cleaning, we're gonna have to make sure that we have enough sterilizing agents to apply on the surfaces to make sure that the guests will not be exposed to any kind of bacteria, to any kind of viruses, and to any kind of germs that can harm our guest. Unpleasant smell must be reported to a supervisor. So whenever we are dealing with an unpleasant smell, normally it is coming from the floor drain of the restroom, floor drain of the public restroom, and we all know by now that the basic chemical that we use or we put on that floor drain, the one that we're using on cruise ships, okay, is the biogel. It's a blue gel-like substance that you pour onto the floor drain. You leave it there overnight, and the following morning, that smelly pipe will be no longer. You'll be able to eradicate the smell. Okay, trash is collected. So we all know the trashes should be collected in a daily basis. Waste paper bin is wiped. Next, restroom are cleaned in correct order. Correct order, once again, is a process of cleaning systematically. Cleaning from the inside area towards the outside. In that way, you're not going to spoil the work. Okay, so you clean from the inside and then towards outside the door. Okay, next, restroom are cleaned in correct order. So basically the same thing from top to bottom. Ceiling is checked. It must be free from dust or any webs. Toilets and sinks are in good condition, free from cracks. So once again, this is something that you should also check. These cracks can potentially harm the guest. Okay, so make sure if you notice a cracks on the toilet, you need to report it right away. Mildew stains must be removed. Tile grouting must be checked. Okay, whenever you see, as we all know, any grouting or the absence of grouting can accumulate the bacteria. That is where the possible bacteria is going to hide if you are not going to have it fixed. So make sure you're going to report that. Sink and flat surfaces are washed. Restroom supplies are checked. So everything else is very straightforward. Next, restroom supplies may include, we all know this, we have been dealing this in even our houses, paper towels, toilet papers, soap dispensers, sanitary bins. Okay, so what are the possible problems that you might encounter? You might encounter a possible damage or losses, leaks and water damage, absence of water, noticeable safety risk, and pest invasion. So once again, there are some problems that is totally uncontrollable. So when it comes to that point, you have your supervisor be able to report it, and the supervisor is going to hand it over to the maintenance department, and then they're going to do the necessary action for that. Okay, moving on to the next slide. I hope you're still there. I might pause the video. I might call one of you, so you better listen to what I'm talking about. Cleaning internal public areas and corridors. This includes the lobby and the lounges, restaurant and bar areas, conference room, public corridors, public areas. So once again, we are mentioning the different public areas. So how are you going to clean that? This is I have summarized the steps. So the basic things that you're going to have to look for or to clean are the dirty ashtrays, vases with flowers. You're going to have to make sure that the flowers are nice and fresh. So if you notice that in the lobby area that you are assigned, the flowers are not fresh anymore, then it's also a responsibility to change it. Remember, any interior decorations are part of your job description, so make sure that you're going to replace it. Ceiling is checked. We all know that by now. Furniture, table, and telephones, you must be able to wipe it. And whenever you are dusting, you must always observe the correct color coding of the cloth. Based on the company standards, if you're using the blue cloth for the table, you'll only use that for the table. If you're using the yellow cloth for the windows, you should only use that for the windows, and so on and so forth. Caution signs once again are displayed whenever it is necessary. Carpet floors are thoroughly vacuumed and cleaned. Furniture is arranged and aligned based on company standards and policies. You know, as we all know, the hotel standard is very they are very particular when it comes to arrangements. Like the chairs must be lined up like 100% straight. So you need to pay attention on that. The pillows, if that is placed upright, then everything else must be upright. Okay, what else? Like the centerpiece or the flowers must only be color white in this area, then you must be able to observe that. So those are the things that you need to follow, and once again, that is part of the company standard or policies. Okay, setting up and clearing function rooms. Light and air conditioning switch off. So once again, you're gonna have to check on that. Furniture is arranged according to instructions. Equipments are cleared and stored according to the procedure. Okay, whenever you encounter a problem, you report it immediately to your supervisor. So what are the equipments that you need to clean in a function room? So you have the overhead projectors. As we all know, the projectors are too high, so therefore you must be able to use a appropriate ladder for you to be able to clean it nicely. Slide projectors, you're gonna have to make sure that that is nice and free of dust. Screens, televisions, and VCR. Okay, these are your areas. You're gonna have to make sure that these equipments are working properly and these equipments are nice and clean. Problem situations, once again, damages, leaks, risk, and bad smells. Whenever you encounter that, what are you going to do? Inform your supervisor. Excellent. Great. Next, cleaning the laundry room. So basically, once again, wherever you're cleaning, the cleaning procedure of the public rooms or the public areas, guest room, public areas, laundry room are basically the same. Okay, you'll just have to include the different equipments. Like here in the laundry area, once again, you're going to check the light switches. You're going to clean the washing machines, make sure that they are working properly. You're gonna have to make sure that they're being checked daily. Trolleys are checked. So these are the trolleys. Trolleys are being used for transportation of the dirty linens, okay, and transportation of the clean linens going up to the guest rooms. Laundry room is cleaned in a correct order. So once again, from inwards going outwards, shelving including corners, clean systematically. Whenever you say systematically, you know it from top to bottom. Wastewater. Okay, at this point I would like to emphasize on the waste water container. In the laundry department, they are dealing with the bleach, and they are also dealing with other chemicals that can be harmful for the environment. In this case, you're not supposed to throw any of those chemicals into the floor drain, because that is gonna go to to the premises of the hotel, and eventually that will go to the the bodies of water of a particular place. So the bottom line is, whenever you are dealing with harmful chemicals, you're supposed to put it into a separate container. Okay. Next, 3.3, laundering linen and guest clothes. Now you're going to be talking about the guest clothes. So now we are going to talk about the two types of laundry. First, we have the OPL, or the on-premise laundry, and it comes with different advantages and disadvantages. For the advantages of the on-premise laundry, meaning to say on-premise laundry, the laundry is inside the hotel, and that is being observed in a 5-star hotel. So advantages: hotel can select the quality of the linens. Definitely they own the laundry area, therefore they have the full authority to make sure that the linens are being washed properly. Next, hotel has a total control over the quality of the laundering, or the way that is being washed. So they can control, they can wash the delicate linen, okay, with proper care. Okay. Next, increase revenue from providing guest service. So definitely, whenever the guests ask for a laundry service, the guests will have to pay for them. And the last one is the hotel can monitor all costs. They can monitor all costs because the laundry is in or within the hotel. Next, moving on to the disadvantages of having an OPL. So this is how it looks like. The disadvantage, it will require a large capital. Okay, these washing machines, these dryers are very expensive, so the hotel will have to provide a money for that particular equipment. Ongoing maintenance costs, so they also gonna have to consider the maintenance cost of those machines when it breaks down. Ongoing cost of chemicals and laundry supplies. So definitely, because they're operating the laundry area, they're going to consider the cost of the detergent, Fabcon, and any other laundry supplies. Large capital of the outlay of the linen items. Okay, that's another thing. Ongoing linen replacement costs. So whenever it's being damaged, it has to be replaced. Okay, so those are the disadvantage of the on-premise laundry. Now we're going to be moving on to the off-site laundry. We're going to discuss what are the disadvantage and the advantages of the off-premise laundry. First one, the disadvantage of off-premise laundry, meaning to say the laundry is outside the hotel, and the off-site laundry are being used by lower star hotels, 2-star hotels, 3-star hotels. They are observing the off-site laundry. So advantage, no capital expenditure. So definitely they do not have the laundry area in their hotel. They don't need to provide a huge capital for that. Next, all operating costs borne by the laundry operator, because you are transporting the linen to the laundry area or the off-site laundry. You don't need to pay for the laundry operator in your hotel. Next, regular scheduled collection and delivery time. So you have a fixed regular schedule. Let's say you're going to bring the dirty linens by Monday, and every Friday you have new sets of laundry. So That is the regular collection. The last one is hotel can monitor all fixed costs per item. So they can easily have or liquidate the cost of the laundry cost. Whatever the cost of the laundry is, what they have written on their logbook, in which that can be easier for a future inventory. Now, moving on to the disadvantage of using an off-site laundry. What are the disadvantages? Hotels may not be able to influence the quality. Okay, because you're transporting the linens, the hotels do not have a full control of the linens. So once it get damaged, you can never tell where did it happen. Did it happen in your hotel, or did it happen in the off-site laundry? So you can never put the blame on them. Next, hotels will need to manage deliveries and shortage. So another thing, the hotel will need to manage the deliveries. So that is a disadvantage. The deliveries is something that you have to consider. And there will come a time that the off-site laundry might be busy. So if you are expecting new linens by Friday, because the off-site laundry is so busy, it could be possible that the delivering of the fresh linen may be delayed. Okay, so there can be a delay. And next, linen turnaround times may vary due to laundry breakdown. So whenever there's a breakdown, let's say the transportation service or the truck that's going to bring the linen to your place got broken, then that will contribute to a huge delay in the delivery of the linens. So those are the disadvantages. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, so roles of staff. So these are the different staff inside the laundry area. So first, we have the sorter. The sorter is the one, from the word itself, sorts out the different types of linen. As we all know by now, linen pertains to the tablecloth being used in the dining room. Linen pertains to the towel. Linen can also pertain to a bed sheet. So any type of cloth that is considered a linen. So the sorter are the ones who are sorting the linens. Now make sure that the napkins will only be washed with the napkins. The towels will only be washed with the towels. The face towels will only be washed with the face towels, and so on and so forth. That is why, so it will also be easier for them to fold it. That's the sorter. Washman. The washman loads and unloads the loads and unloads the linen into the washing machine. So that is the washman. So tumbler, who loads and unloads transport towel and bathrobe. So this tumbler is the person who's responsible for the transportation of the towels. Towels coming from the guest room, towels coming from the pool, and towels coming from the spa. So feeder. Now, the feeder is doing one of the most important jobs. The feeder is the one who's going to feed the pillowcases and the sheets. Hopefully, by the end of this video or the next meeting, I'll be able to show you how the feeder works. Okay, but the risk part here is that the feeder, the risk here is that the finger of the feeder might get into the machine. So whenever the feeder is doing it, so he or she is gonna have to make sure that that his or her finger is too far from the conveyor machine, because that can that can cause a potential accident. And it happened before. Once your finger got into it, you're gonna lose your forefinger, and nobody likes that. Next, ironer operator, remove the iron folded goods. But the ironer operator in a 5-star hotel, normally the ironer, they don't do it manually. They have a huge iron board and then a huge iron. They had just put it down and everything will be nice and straight. We have the general wash, dispatch clerk, truck driver, that's very straightforward. General laundry, hand pressing or collecting. So hand pressing whenever it is necessary. Dry cleaning, presser, and dispatch. So I will show you, I will be able to show you the video of the operation of the laundry area as well. Okay, now use the off-site laundry. So we have talked about that. We have talked about that already. So now I'll be moving on to the laundry guest linen. Laundering guest linen. So whenever you're doing the guest linen, meaning to say guest linen could pertain to the guest clothes. So recheck the list. So whenever the guest has asked for their shirt to be pressed, you're gonna have to make sure that the shirt is free from any damages. So if they will say that, Zeline, I want my shirt to be pressed, before Zeline is going to take that to the laundry department to be pressed, she needs to inspect the shirt if that is free from damages. If she finds out that there's a stain or a hole, then the person who's delivering the shirt must inform the guest. Then Zeline should say, "Sir, are you aware that your shirt has a hole in the lower right?" And you will find out that the guest might say that, "No, yes sir, it's got some damage on the lower right, and it's right here." Then you show it to the guest, let him see, and then you ask him again, "Would you still want me to have it pressed or not? Or would you still like me to have it cleaned?" So then it will be all up to him to decide, for the guest to decide. So that's how you do it. Any damage is what you have to inform. In that way, the blame is not going to be on you. So take note of that. Okay, so laundering property linen, once again, basically the same. We're not gonna go on that anymore. Now, pressing guest linen. So how are you going to do that? Work is carried efficiently. Guest item to be pressed and removed carefully to the laundry bag. Okay, guest items are pressed. Torn equipments are iron board. So once again, the guest linen or the guest shirt, guest pants, all you have to do is to bring it over to the laundry department and make sure that you are going to fill out the laundry log sheet. The laundry log sheet will give you the information on where is the laundry coming from, what's the room number of the guest, the name of the guest, how many shirt needs to be cleaned, how many pants needs to be cleaned. Okay, the quantities are written there. So those are the information written in the laundry log sheet. Handing guest linen for dry cleaning. So basically, whenever you bring the guest shirt to be washed, then automatically that is going to be dry cleaned. And these instructions are something that is, or something that we have already known. Now moving on to element 3.4, provide additional housekeeping services. First, turn down are in for 4 or 5 star hotel. This turn down service. So turn down service is a process of having the room ready for relaxation. So whenever you say turn down service, you're going to switch on the lights into soothing level. Okay, you're going to have a quick look on their bed. Make sure everything is nice and clean. Everything looks clean. Okay, so this service is basically pertaining to the comfort of the guest. So this is just like a last check of the housekeeper before the guest sleeps. So that is turn down service. Next, so how are we going to do the turn down service? First, preparation. Prepare items that may be used as part of the turn down service, including linen, as we all know. If it's necessary to replace it, be able to do it so. Bath towels and pillows. Next one, amenities. So we all know we are mandated to give them a new stock every other day. Hand lotions, moisturizers, sanitary items, toilet papers, okay, and even the giveaways. We're gonna have to make sure that they have a new stock of newspaper. So every day it has to be placed. Chocolates, fruits, messages, and the flowers. Next, complete turn down service. So normally turn down service includes, so this is the basic or the specific thing that you're going to do whenever you're conducting the turn down service. First, you're going to close the curtains. Second, turn on the lights in a soothing level, which I have told you earlier. Play the appropriate music if it's necessary. Prepare the bed. Make sure that you do the bed. If that is traditional way, be able to do it so. That should be free from any creases. Replacing items on the bed, including fruits, okay, based on the company standards. Replace dirty towels. We all know that by now. Clean basic bathroom surfaces. Crockeries and cutleries. Crockeries are the plates being used by the guests. So whenever they leave it there, so it has to be removed. Clear the bins and conduct a general cleaning checking. So make sure it is nice and tidy. Okay, now do not disturb sign. So you should record the time whenever the guest put the D&D sign. So whenever you pass by to room 512 and you notice that they always have the D&D sign every 9 o'clock in the morning. So that gives you an idea that that room will always put on the D&D sign at 9 o'clock. So avoid going to that room and avoid unnecessary noises by 9 o'clock. Instead, you come back after an hour and do the cleaning whenever they are already out of the room. Okay, important thing for you to know, the turn down service should take approximately 10 minutes per room. Like I said, this is just a preparation for the guest sleeping. So make sure this should be done in 10 minutes per room. So check everything. If there are no dirty items, bins, plates should be removed. Ashtrays should be nice and clean. So those are the things that you should do in 10 minutes. And the cleaning, so this is basically talking about cleaning the checkout rooms. The cleaning of checkout rooms should only be finished in 20 to 40 minutes. Okay, but 40 minutes is quite long. Basically, this is talking about the bigger rooms. This is talking about the suite rooms. whenever you're dealing or cleaning with the suite rooms, normally there are two housekeeper. Okay, there are two housekeeper who going to clean the suite room. That is why it is allotted for 14 minutes. And for the checkout rooms, that is 20 minutes. So additional task, we have the preventive maintenance, deep cleaning whenever it's necessary. Preventive maintenance, this being done by the maintenance department, and the housekeeper is playing a big role in making the preventive maintenance of the hotel being done in a regular basis, because we are the ones who are going to report any breakages. Next, deep cleaning. Deep cleaning, all areas are turned over. Okay, but this basically pertaining to the old mattresses. The new mattresses, they only have one side. Okay, so whenever you say that what part of the deep cleaning is to turn the mattresses, you're going to move it from side A to side B. That is being used for the old type of bed. But right now, the new beds being used in a hotel only have a one side. And part of the deep cleaning is to remove any stains that penetrates the mattresses. Okay, so now kitchen cleaning is based on the hotel standards. At this point, I would like to tell you that in most of the hotels, it is the job of the cooks to clean the kitchen or their area, because we all know the kitchen is very is a place where the food is coming. So the kitchen should always be free from any viruses and germs. So whenever a person coming from different department, that is already considered hygienic. Okay, but then it depends on the hotel standards. But in the industry that I've worked for, it is the job of the kitchen staff to clean their own area. And of course, you can apply deodorizing and spraying in any other guest rooms whenever it is necessary. Okay, that is the end of our final discussion. So please just stand by for the next meeting. Please prepare for an comprehensive oral assessment. Okay, we are going to go over on the important things here in our module, which are the objectives of the housekeeping, which are the organizational chart of the housekeeping, the public areas, the chemicals. So those are the things that we might talk. I might ask you about. So thank you very much for staying with me, and please stand by for further instructions. So thank you. See you.